me questions right away. First of all, so I divided my presentations into 3 things, and my first effective ways, I mean, all of the 3 effective ways for me, it doesn't mean for everyone, but generally it works for me. So I'm just sharing it for you guys, and if you guys think it's gonna work for you guys can try it. First of all, I set my goals to improve my English. We all started from nothing. So of course I was born and raised in Cambodia. So I start off with knowing nothing about English. And then I set my goals. I know that learning English is my favorite things to do. It's like my goal. I need to learn English. I need to speak English. So I set my goals and I put down all these things to let you guys know that goal can be small, goal can be simple, and goal can be anything. It doesn't have to be big when someone say things like, oh, I have this goal, this and that. Everybody else can have their opinions, but you guys don't have to be the same. It's just for you guys. So set goals for yourself. Like you want to improve your English. English, improving your English in general, it means it's like very big, very wide. So some people is good at speaking, some people is good at listening, some people is good at writing. It's like good at different things. So you could set your goals from small to like big and bigger. If you're like good at speaking, you want to improve your listening, you can do that. That's your goal. Anybody else that is good at writing but suck at reading, you guys can set your goals. Okay, I want to improve my readings. That's how you set your goals. It's different for everybody. For me, when I first started learning English, my goal is to speak. I love talking and I wanted to speak more than anything else. Like I feel like, oh, I was so cool. I could speak English. I could talk with foreigners and shit like that. My bad. I didn't mean that. Um, and then that was my first goal. I just want to speak. And after that, I realized that speaking is not enough because sometimes I could not understand when people talking, like especially talking to native speakers. I was like, I know how to talk. It's just I don't understand sometimes. So that's my second goal. I really want to improve my listening skills. And after that, as I improved my speaking and listening, I started to learn how to write like more professionals, more formals, like those writing skills that I need to learn. It's just kind of like my step, like it's my goals. So you guys will be different. Some of you guys may be already good at speaking, already good at listening. So it could be something else about your goals. And then move on to second things, figuring out. Figure out what type of learners you are. It is very important because um, everybody has different styles, different kinds of preference whenever it comes to learning. So basically, this is what I learned from my class when I first started, when I moved here, and then when I started class here, like I was told to do my survey to see if I am in one of these 3 learners. So first of all, we have auditory learner, which is a kind of a learning style that the learner, like the students, could improve like better and faster when they listening and speaking. Like if everything that they learn involve listening, involve speaking, like they learn better and they learn way faster. And then the second type is the visual learner. Everything that involves with materials presented. Um, for example, like presentations, you see things, you could read, you could see materials provided. Like I provide you guys my PowerPoint slideshows, so you guys could see it, could visualize things. That's called visual learner. Like you guys learn faster when you guys see things. And the last type of learner would be a tactile learner, aka hands-on learner. Like you could read, you could listen to someone talking, you could speak, but like it doesn't sink in to your head. Like everything you see people talk, you talk to people, you don't remember, you don't learn anything that much. So you need hands-on, aka you need to write things down. For example, you need to note down, you need to brainstorm what you learn, you need to draw, you need to do something with your hands in order to remember, in order to learn. And the last one, probably it's a little bit of everything. It doesn't have to be like, oh, okay, I'm an auditory learner. Like I learn best when I listen, I learn best when I speak. So I'm not two other types. So what happened in a class if like in a classroom, like the teacher love talking more or like listening more. So it's good for you. It's a good class for you. But if like in a classroom, the teachers kind of like give you materials to work on, you kind of like slower than other. That's kind of like a little bit of everything. Like you not sure whether you are auditory, visual, or tactile. Like you kind of think that you're a little bit of everything. So here's the thing, to figure things out, this is like a very short self-assessment. I could send a link later. This link will help you figure out like what type of learners you are. You can go to the link and then just answer like couple questions. I mean, it's a lot, like around 30 questions ish. So you guys can fill out and then they're gonna tell you what type of learner you are. But I don't think it's very accurate. It depends on you guys. Like if you guys feel like, oh, okay, I love listening to other people. I love listening to explanations. I love listening to people talking. That's auditory learner. It depends on you guys as well. The self-assessment is kind of like guide you guys the questions that you need to ask yourself to figure out. And after you figure out what type of learner you are, it's way easier for you to start map things out. And most importantly, it's easier for you guys to set goals as well. For example, let's say, so here's from my experience. I am a auditory learner and a tactile learner. I'm a little bit of auditory and a tactile. Like I love listening to explanations and then I love speaking. Like I speak a lot. I would speak to everybody's in the class and then I would ask questions. I would listen to them. And then I started to write down things. And then whenever I do research, I started to write down everything that I learned. I brainstorm, I note down the key points, the important things that I want to remember. That's how I learn things. And when I figure out that the best way I learn, I started to set my goal more. Okay, so today I want to learn like more vocabulary, more phrases, more concepts of this and that. So I started to ask questions and then I started to watch some videos and then I started to write down things. That's how I learn. And moving on to the last thing, of course, there's nothing works if you don't practice. Like we always hear that practice makes perfect. Practice, practice, practice. Like this is just an example of like how or like the ways you could practice. You could listen to music, you could read the magazines, you could read the articles, any articles, and you could watch any news, watch any movies on Netflix. It doesn't have to be like a very documented movies or something like that. Everything that you're passionate about, that you feel like you're interested, like you could watch it. And then this right here, you guys must be wondering like why I don't mention reading books. I hope other speakers would mention it, like reading could improve your speaking and reading could improve your writings. I am not a book reader. I don't read a lot. I love reading when things is interested to me, when things favorable to me, like things that I love, things that I want to learn more, things that I do research on. That's what I love to read. But any other than that, I don't enjoy reading much, so I cannot tell you guys how to read or like the best way to read or like convince you guys reading is the best things ever to improve your English. But you guys don't have to fully trust me on this because reading is kind of like universal things. Everybody read, everybody agrees that reading could improve your speaking skills, could improve your English skills. Like, and this is the only book that I am interested about when I wanted to improve my English. Like, of course, when I moved here, everything changed. Like, everything is different, totally different from what I learned in Cambodia. So the way they write, the way they have conversations, the way people talk is like totally different. And then this book is kind of helped me a lot. I started reading this book last semester when I was in college. Like this is for college level, but it's very basic. It's like for everybody. And then I put a link to where you could find the book. And also this link is a very useful link that you could go and search for any types of book for free, and you can download it for free. And this book called They Say I Say, the 4th edition by Gerald Graff. This book will teach you pretty much how to write. They will provide you templates. They will provide you examples on articles and everything that you guys could read. And it's very basic. It's about foods. It's about travelings. It's about students. It's about interactions between teachers and students. And then the most favorite part I like about this book that helped me improve both my reading and my writing skills is that the books provides the templates for writing. The templates is very basic, like it's gonna make you guys like feel bored like when you guys started to read the book, but the templates will help you a lot when you want to improve your writing. And I guess it comes to the end. If you guys have any other questions, you guys can feel free to ask me. I love questions, so feel free to ask.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Prathna. Okay, let's go, Prathna. Okay, so all participants, now the speaker already finished presentation. So if you have a question, you can drop question down and she will answer for you. Okay, please. Okay, now the questions here.
Do I have any questions? Is my
Yeah.
presentation very boring or something? I don't know, but you guys can ask.
And as a guest speaker, we have some questions, several questions. So yeah, I would like you to go to the chat box and answer one by one. Okay. Yep.
Find the chat box.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What is the best way to improve?
Okay, no name is say, what is the best way to improve our conversation?
What is the best way to improve our conversations? Are you asking me about like the best way to approach, the best way to start a conversations, or like overall conversations? Because I wanted to be more specific, but I could assume. Overall conversations. Conversations can be like anything. It's very general when you say overall conversations, because it could be small talk, it could be about any topics. So the best way to improve the conversations is that find the right topic to talk. A small talk is like pretty much easy, of course. Hey, hello, hi, how you doing? That's it. But the conversations, I'm guessing you're asking about like the topics, like when you're talking to someone and you just want to keep talking, or like you just want to keep the conversations going on, like you want to improve on that. First of all, like I said, you just have to find like the right topic. Let's say it's you're talking to your friends, so just find the right topic to talk. Okay, today you want to talk about traveling, today you want to talk about foods, this and that. Just try to find like your topic. Just try to find the topic that both of you, or like those who involved in the conversations, interested in, so that way they would keep talking, you could keep talking. And then most importantly, don't worry about like making mistakes, don't worry about making grammatical error. That would happen. Like, it's, of course, conversations is the way you talk. It's like it doesn't have to be correct all the times. It's just, you just have to keep talking, you know. That's the only way you could improve, or like you could keep the conversations going on, if you're asking about how to keep the conversations going on. And I hope I answer your questions. So moving on to Jita, how to identify what types of learners we are. Like I said, do you want me to move back to my slides? My Gmail. Okay. So like I said, there are 3 different types of learners. So auditory is like everything that involve with listening and speaking. Like, you learn best when you listen more, you learn best when you speak more. That's the first type of learner. The visual learners, the materials presented, like you see things, you visualize things in your head, you kind of watch something so that you could learn better. That's a visual learner. And the tactile learners is like hands-on. You need to write things, you need to map things out, you need to draw things. That's the last type of learners, and you just have to figure out by yourself. So like, for example, if you learn best when you write things down, you learn best when you started to draw things, that you are a tactile learner. And you can also go to the link that I will be sending shortly, and do your self-assessment to find out what type of learner you are. And then moving on to the next questions. Ratane, if you start to study English, does someone bully you or not? Like specifically, are you asking about like bad pronunciations, you're having accents, or like you make mistakes when you talk, things like that, and then people bully you for that? I guess he's not answering, so I'll just assuming. Talking about bullying, like when started to learn English, normally we're not native speaker. English is not our mother tongue. Like we was not born to speak English. We was born speaking Cambodian. We live in Cambodia. Of course, like learning English is like very hard for us. And like whenever we speak, whenever we talk to someone else that is like native speakers or like those people with like good English, whenever we talk, we would have accents. Like the way I talk, the way you guys talk probably have accents, you know, and you always make mistakes when you started to learn or speak. When you started learning English, you make a lot of mistakes. And from my experience, talking about in Cambodia, I don't think people bullied me when I was in Cambodia because I don't think I was in that environment, you know. But when I moved here, they could tell right away that I have an accent. Like when I started to talk, when I started to speak, they could tell right away that I have an accent, that, oh, I'm not American. I have accents. I'm probably from somewhere else. So they don't bully me like physically or like mentally, you know. They just started to just ask you like random questions, you know, some stupid questions that of course everybody already knows. And that's kind of like what I experienced. But like for bullying, I've never experienced that. What is the best way to improve our conversations? I think I answered that. See it again. Jenda, could you share your experience about how to prepare or set goals effectively to improve force skills? This is the best question. Thank you. And from my experience, first of all, like I said, my very first goal, like I wanted to improve my speaking skill. I just want to speak. I don't care if I could write. I don't care if I could read. I just want to speak. And that's my very first goal. And then the second goal, I wanted to improve my listening skills, since after I could speak, like not the best speaker, like after I learned how to speak, whenever I talk to someone else, they don't I couldn't understand them like pretty much everything. So like that's my second goal. I want to improve my listening skills. And after that, when I advanced my knowledge in English, I guess, I wanted to improve my writing skills. And that's how I set my goal. But like to effectively improve those skills, you have to learn but from learning from your teachers, learning from schools, learning from books is like the general things that everybody do in order to improve your English, your skills. But like the thing is that you have to be self-disciplined. Like you have to be self-disciplined to yourself. Like you have to set your own after you set your own goals, you have to set your mindset that, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that, I want to improve my goal, I want to improve my skills, I want to reach the goals that I already set. That's the self-discipline. Like if you say, oh, okay, I'm bad at speaking, I want to improve my speaking skills, and then I set my goal, I have to practice watching movies and then listening, and then start practicing, and then start making conversations. And you just have to do that, like practice, self-discipline, keep doing it, and that's how you're going to improve your skills. And then talking about skills is like very general, like it's a lot to learn, but as long as you have like your self-discipline and then you set your mindset that you want to improve those skills, I believe you will improve. And moving on to the next questions. Your presentation is good, or it's too short to ask questions. I mean, I try to make it short so that you guys could ask any questions about the topic. And then, how to be a good listener. How to be a good listener. Okay, so good listeners, there are like two different types of good listeners. The first type is like you only listen to when someone talk to you, you just keep listening. That's how, like, you don't judge them. That's the first type. Like you're a good listener just by listening to people talking. Like they tell you about their secrets, they tell you about their things, they tell you about what's going on. You just keep listening. And then the second type, the good listener, I mean, I assume that you want to ask like about the skill, like the listening skills. Of course, practice makes perfect. You have to listen more, and then listen to those radios, articles, listen to I kind of forgot what's it called. The audio tapes, you know, like when I was learning Cambodia, like we have like a textbook, and then we would like the teachers would play the audios, and then we would listen and then like feel things out. Like you can practice on that, you know, and that's how you could improve your listening skills. And moving on to the next questions. Is your presentation finished? Of course it's finished. That's why we're moving on to questions and answers. How to speak English clearly. For some reason, I would just keep saying that speaking English clearly. People have like different kinds of pronunciations. Like some people take short time to improve their speaking skills. Some people takes longer time to improve their speaking skills. But to pronounce to speak clearly, I mean, you just have to read a lot, pronounce things clearly, and if you don't know how to pronounce things, you could just do research on it. Google Translate have a lot with pronunciations. You could ask Google Translate to read things for you. And you could also ask your teachers like how to pronounce each words. And then you just have to practice that words. And clearly, I assume that you want to ask speaking English with no accent. To be honest, I still have accent. And to improve on that, you just have to practice more. And but first of all, if you're like first off started to learn English, or like you want to improve your speaking skills, don't worry about making mistakes, don't worry about making like accents. Of course everybody has accents, so like just start to speak, and then later on you will get used to it, you will get used to speaking English, and then you will speak better and clearer. Does reading improve our speaking skill? Or reading? Reading, of course, improve your speaking skill, because like I mentioned, like if you read a lot, your pronunciations will get better. And of course, readings readings includes comprehensive skills. So like when you read, you have to ask questions. When you read, you have to find the answers to the questions. It's the comprehensive skill that you need, and it will improve your reading skills. And of course, it will improve your speaking skills since you learn more vocabulary. When you speak, you will be more articulate. It will improve both reading and speaking. Did your English speaking get better when you were still in Cambodia or after you moved to overseas? How tactics shall we do to fast our speaking skills? For me, I am not sure if my English was better in Cambodia or it was just when I moved here. But I just know for sure that when I was in Cambodia, I was kind of shy. Whenever I talk, even though I love talking, I will only talk to like people I know or like people from my class. But like here, I have no choice. I just have to talk. Like everybody speak English everywhere. We hear English, so like I have no choice. I have to talk. I have to speak English every single day. So I might improve more here. But back then when I was in Cambodia, I think I was still improve my skill in Cambodia. I was improving my skills, and then when I moved here, I improved more because I speak more. So do fast to improve your speaking skills. I think I already answered these questions. Like to improve your speaking skills, you just have to speak more instead of speak a lot. Listen more, talk more, practice. Can you share? Do you have some challenging when you speak English to public? It depends. Sometimes, like if the topic is not my it's not the topic that I'm interested about, talking to the public about the topic that you're not interested about kind of make me feel challenging, you know. Some topic that I haven't learned, some topic that I haven't done research on, I kind of feel challenging when expressing my ideas on that topic. But generally, whenever I start talking in public or like speaking in public, like right now when I'm talking to you guys, I just feel comfortable talking. You know, it's not really challenging. Just like whenever you have like a specific topic and like you're not educated enough about that topic, it's kind of challenging. If you don't know how to read or spelling, what do you do to improve? I think we started off by reading like normal words, like easy words, and then later on we will improve to like more difficult words. And then of course I believe in class or like whenever you read, if you have questions, if you don't know how to pronounce the words, if you're not sure about the word, you can always ask anyone who knows about the word that you're struggling with. Dictionary, it's also help. Like just do research, have your own dictionary, like research search that word up, and it will help you a lot. How to keep the audience attentions. How to draw attentions. To be honest, I am not a good speaker or like not a good public speaker, but I could tell to keep the audience attentions, you just have to go straight to the point. Like if you want to talk about something, just go straight to the point to kind of like draw their attentions, and then later on explain them what your intentions, what your key points is all about, what your topic is all about. Keep everything short, keep everything straight to the point. That's how you draw your audience attentions. And interactions, just like right now we're having questions and answers, that also happening with drawing the attentions. How to let the audience listen to you clearly. Example, they're not paying attention to you. So how do I make them pay attention to me? Generally, if you're doing like a public speaking or like presentations in your class, like I said, you just have to keep everything straight to the point. And then when talking to them, try to make eye contact. Like, you know that they're not gonna be interested in what you're presenting, or like you know that they're not gonna focus on you like 100%, but like keep eye contact, and then you know what you're talking about is the most important thing. So like if they look like, oh, they're not really interested about it, or like they don't really pay attention much to what you're talking, you could like give them more examples, like real example, or like ask them questions right away. That's like you kind of like call them, okay, like interact with me, I'm talking to you. Like we could give like a real example, like when you present your topic. I am just like you guys. At first, I'm not very brave enough to like talking like this in general. It's just I practice a lot, and then whenever I talk, I am fortunate enough to have someone like around me that like would listen to me and without judgment. Like I could talk about everything, I could ask them about anything, no judgments. And then when I make mistakes, they professionally correct me, and they tell me how to correct my mistakes. They tell me what I did wrong, but professionally. So they kind of, and then they encourage me to like keep talking, like mistakes is okay. And yeah, a part of me is that I love talking. So as long as people listen to me, I would just keep talking. Like it's not that I'm brave, it's just I respect when people listen to me, so I just need to keep talking. And I believe you will be able to talk just like me, if as long as you keep practicing and like talk to the right people, talk to those people with no judgments, talk to those people who is willing to help you, who is willing to correct your mistakes professionally. And those kind of people, they will encourage you to like be better. Like for example, teachers, for example, your friends, talk to them, and especially your teachers, they will correct you in a professional ways, and then they will keep encouraging you to like keep talking. And yeah, I believe you will be able to talk in public like bravely. Should I speak English and Khmer when I practice English, but somewhat in English? I don't know it. I think it's fine. Everybody started off like that. For me as well, English is not our first language. Like I said, we don't know all the words, so we could just speak English, and then for the word that we don't know, we could ask, or we could like search the word up. And like for the first time, if we don't know the word, of course we could not do nothing. We don't know the word, so like just speak it in Khmer, and then later on ask whoever that know the word. The second time you could practice on that word. So I think it should be fine if you speak like English and you don't know the word, you just speak it in Cambodian. But then later on, don't forget to ask questions, don't forget to do some research on that word, and then the second time it will be better. Keep getting better. Set time and set goal. Which first? I believe set goal come first, but reaching it or not is about setting time. Like I said, self-discipline, it means It means setting your own time, setting your own schedule, prioritize your time, prioritize the most important things first in order to reach your goals. So for me personally, I think setting goals come first. Can you share your challenges in speaking English once first setting in the state? Challenges in speaking English once first setting in the state. So just like in Cambodia, when we people from Phnom Penh, they have their own dialect. People from Untitled province, they have their own dialects. People from different province kind of have their own words, kind of have their own dialects. So here as well in the US, different states have different dialects, different states have the different words, the way they talk, the way they use, the way they interact with people. So when I first came here in Minnesota, like for example, soda like Coke, Sprite, they don't call it soda, they call it pops. And I was thinking to myself, like, where could I get pops? Like, what is pops? I don't even know where it is. I don't know what it is. It's just different words that is challenging to me. But it's not like very challenging to the point that I could not understand the conversations. I just have to ask them, okay, what is pops? I'm sorry, what is pops? And it's like, oh, it's soda. It's just for Minnesotans, they call it pops. That's my very first challenge when I first moved here. But the most important things is that when I go to school, everything is all about English. And the way we were taught in Cambodia, it's like everything is straight off the book. So like whenever we talk, it's not like what I'm talking right now. Whenever we talk, it has to be like subject, verb, object. Everything is about structures, everything is about grammars, everything is straight off the book. Here, everybody keep things simple, no matter how good at English they are, no matter how high educated they are, as long as it's not like a formal speech, as long as it's not like a professional presentations, they would try to keep the conversations understandable and very approachable. So like they have slangs, they have small talks that first it was very challenging to me. You're taking biology. Why are you passionate about English learning sharing? I am in college and I am planning to major in biology because I am interested in dental school and I am passionate about English learning sharing. I mean, it's because overall it is the ESL program, I think, for you guys. ESL programs or like an event like where we share about general idea, we share about general topic, about how to improve your English, about how to improve specifically on your speaking, on your listening, or how to be more comfortable speaking English generally for ESL learner. It doesn't have to be biology specifically, even though I major in biology. It's not I'm gonna talk about biology. I mean, if you guys interested in biology, you can ask me questions. I of course could answer that. But for now, since we're in like ESL programs, I just want to share general things about English from my experience. I think these are all the questions you guys have. Any other questions? Out of topic, do you get scholarships or anything for studying in the USA? Fortunately, I'm very grateful that my mother, she moved here. So my family, we all kind of moved here. I guess I'm the permanent resident, which means I have the rights to go to school. I am privileged enough to be able to go to school. But when I was in high school, in order to go to college, since I don't know if you guys know this, but college is very expensive and it's very competitive to like get scholarships and everything. And yeah, I was in a year and a half in high school here. So I try my best putting everything that I have, the transcript from Cambodia, all the credits that I did in high school here and everything, my GPAs and everything, so that I could be able to get like the government scholarships, you know. We have like varieties of scholarships. We have different kinds of scholarships, but two most important scholarships, and it's kind of like for everybody's that eligible for that. The first one is financial aid. It's like for students with low incomes. For example, if I study and I work, I could get scholarship. And if my parents have low income or any students with low income, they could get scholarships. And then the government scholarships, it depends on credits that you do in school. It depends on how good you are. It depends on the programs you're doing. There are different kinds of scholarships. And for me, I have financial aid and I have Pell Grant, which is the Minnesota government scholarship. They pay for me since I do like a lot of credits or like just enough credits to get the scholarships. And yes. You're welcome. You're welcome.
For participant, you have more questions you can ask because we don't have much time. We have only around 4 or 5 minutes more. Okay, please drop more question if you have. I'm off question. No. Thanks for
Yeah, I guess that's it for today. And if you guys want the links to the virtual library or like the link to the self-assessments, you guys can, I guess, contact your teacher. What's her name? Teacher Watai? Yes, you guys can contact her. I'll send the link to her. And yes, I guess that's it for today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much again for guest speaker for today topic that we can say it's like it's a very active for with a great sharing and all participant ask many questions and guest speaker also answer many questions as well. Thank you so much. But however, our guest speaker for this session, for this topic, she also has the link, right, to master, we can say access your what kinds of you have to figure out you are auditory learner or visual learner, tactile learner. Sorry, yeah. So yeah, so guest speaker can drop. Okay, you can send to teacher Batai, and teacher Batai will send to BiWEEKLy Talk for Telegram. Okay, thank you so much for our guest speaker. Atithchethbrathna. Yeah, thank you so much for, yeah, thank you again. And from AA, we have only a short video for you, and we have a short, we can say, on the certificate for our guest speaker. Thank you so much. So, we're gonna play the videos. And then all participants, after the video finish, I would like you turn on camera and we will to start a screenshot Okay, but now that okay, so guest speaker, please enjoy this one. Okay, can you see this video?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And also thanks to Miss Batay, she has created this video for our guest speaker, Prathna. Yes, thank you. Okay, please enjoy it. Okay. Thank you again. Thank you so much for. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have only 5 minutes left. So before we say goodbye and with our guest speaker, so I would like now all participants please turn on the camera, open the cameras, and you're gonna take a screenshot, please. Okay, សូមបាត់វីដេអូទាំងអស់គ្នាមុននឹងយើង say goodbye បាទហ្នឹងហើយសូមតែខេតជាភាសាខ្មែរបន្តិចអញ្ចឹងនៅក្នុងថ្ងៃនេះយើងទាក់ទងទៅនឹងការនិយាយភាសាអង់គ្លេសជាប្រធានបទទី3សម្រាប់weekly talk ហើយសម្រាប់ guest speaker ទី3នេះឃើញថាមានសំណួរច្រើនមែនតើហើយគាត់ឆ្លើយយ៉ាងឡើងស្អកកឡើងកាហេតុ3 4ដងហើយឃើញមានន័យថាអញ្ចឹងថាយើងចាប់អារម្មណ៍ទៅលើប្រធានបទនឹងច្រើនបាទហើយក៏អរគុណច្រើនព្រោះខ្ញុំសូមអរគុណម្ដងទៀតដែរហើយក៏អរគុណដល់ការក្រុងសាលាផងដែរដែលបានបង្កើតនៅប្រធានបទមួយនេះព្រោះយើងឃើញថានិស្សិតខ្មែរឬក៏សិស្សកម្ពុជាយើងភាគច្រើនគាត់ខ្លាចក្នុងការនិយាយភាសាអង់គ្លេសពេលខ្លះគាត់រៀនច្រើនហើយប៉ុន្តែដូចអៀនអត់ហ៊ាននិយាយខ្លាចអញ្ចឹងយើងប្រធានបទ3ដែលយើងលើកចូលមកកន្លងមក3នេះលើកទី3នេះហើយគឺមាន2ដែលយើងផ្ដោតទៅលើការនិយាយភាសាអង់គ្លេសហើយ speaker ទាំង3ក៏គាត់បានប្រាប់តិចនិចច្រើនមែនតើបាទច្រើនមែនតើប៉ុណ្ណឹងថាបងប្អូនលោកគ្រូអ្នកគ្រូទាំងអស់បានកត់ចូលឬក៏ note នឹងបានច្រើនមិនប៉ុណ្ណាទេប៉ុន្តែអ្វីដែលខ្ញុំចាប់អារម្មណ៍ខ្លាំងមែនតើទោះជាធៀបច្រើនប៉ុណ្ណាក៏ដោយប៉ុន្តែចាប់អារម្មណ៍ខាងបំផុតគឺ practice ចង់រួចទេបាទទោះជាធៀបច្រើនយ៉ាងណាតែអត់អនុវត្តគឺអត់បានអីទេបាទហ្នឹងហើយអរគុណច្រើនហើយយើងនឹងមានប្រធានបទបន្តទៀតសម្រាប់សប្តាហ៍ក្រោយនេះអត់ទេគឺមួយទៀតបាទអញ្ចឹងសូមឲ្យបានចូលរួមទាំងអស់គ្នាហើយសូមសរសេរជា reflection អ្វីដែលបានទទួលពី guest speaker យើងថ្ងៃនេះហើយសូមបញ្ជាក់ផងដែរទៅនឹង reflection paper គឺយើងផ្ញើនៅក្នុង BiWEEKLy Talk នៅក្នុង Telegram អញ្ចឹងចូលទៅក្នុង download បាទ download យកមកហើយដើម្បីឲ្យបានសរសេរ reflection ឲ្យបាន6ប្រធានបទនោះសាលារៀនបញ្ញវន្តករបស់យើងដែលហៅថា AA នឹងចេញជាបណ្ឌបត្តិបញ្ជាក់ជូនថាបានចូលរួមវគ្គនេះបាទបើជាមួយលោកគ្រូអ្នកគ្រូអាចផ្ញើទៅផ្ទាល់បើមិនជាអ្នកចូលរួមមិនមែនជាសិស្សនៅទីនេះឬក៏ជាដែលមិនបានរៀននៅទីនេះអាចផ្ញើទៅអ្នកគ្រូបន្តិចផ្ទាល់បាទសូមអរគុណច្រើនអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំបាទសូមថតជាវីដេអូថតជា slide ហើយសូមឲ្យបេះដូងមួយ sticker បាទខ្ញុំរាប់1 2 3ហើយយើងមាន2ផ្ទាំងបាទរាប់តែទី1ថា1 2 3សូម sticker មកបាទខ្ញុំសុំមួយទៀតបាទសុំមួយទៀតបាទ1 2 3អូខេអរគុណអូខេចឹងសូមអរគុណច្រើនសម្រាប់ guest speaker សូមអរគុណហើយអរគុណទៀតហើយជាមួយអ្នកដែលបានចូលរួមក៏អរគុណច្រើនដែរហើយរកចាំចូលរួមសម្រាប់សប្តាហ៍មួយទី2សូមអរគុណច្រើនសូមជម្រាបលាបាទសូមអរគុណ Bye
Bye everyone. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
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 You guys have a good night.